Morning, everybody. Welcome to Lock Pod, Belgium's top-rated podcast.
Friday
what?
It's Friday.
It's Friday the 29th of October.
Almost Halloween.
It's a very serious show we're lining up today.
When do you like to trick-or-treat?
I'm a traditionalist. I'm old school. I didn't think the mayor... Yeah, I didn't realize this until I became mayor, that mayors had the power to change Halloween.
I mean, that is power.
I know.
Think about the power you have.
I know.
You could say, you know what, we're going to have Halloween on October 1st.
Or, like, why wouldn't we just do it in the dead of summer? Like July 31st.
There you go.
There you go. That's the new... in Hammond, that's how we roll, right?
Where does it end? Yeah.
I agree. So, like, I'm old school. I leave Halloween on October. Like, this weekend, there's a ton of pressure, too.
Why?
Because, like, you know, this generation of kids, it's all, like, wimpy, and the parents are like, oh.
What's wrong with Sunday at 5 to 7?
It's going to be cold.
It's drizzling.
Cold?
It's a Sunday night, and school is on Monday.
I remember it wasn't that long ago where it snowed and some places canceled.
Yeah. Some of them changed the
Some
date.
cities changed the date.
But, like, this is when it's the worst. It's because it's on a Sunday.
Yeah.
So everybody just assumes, why wouldn't we change it to Saturday, Mayor?
Yeah.
You know why
Make
you
it more
don't?
convenient.
You know why you don't?
Because it's not Halloween.
That's goddamn right, Kevin.
Yeah.
You don't freaking change Halloween. I don't
mean,
care if little Johnny has to go out and trick or treat on a Sunday. Oh,
when
my
it's
God.
cold.
What's Johnny going to do?
It could be raining.
It's Sunday. Oh, he has to sleep. Shut up. It's Halloween. We used to all do it.
I was going to say, I can't ever remember it ever being anything but on the 31st of October.
By the way, the whole 5 to 7 thing, that's a little, like...
I don't mind that.
It's a wimpiness. It's a wimpiness.
It is a wimpy time frame.
Dude,
yeah, but
I used to trick or treat till like 9 p.m.
Well, that's
it was
true.
dark,
It was
man.
always late.
Yeah.
5 to 7.
well,
It's
I don't-
freaking daylight, you know?
You don't mind having set hours because that's good for residents, but you're saying it should
good
be
for
later.
residents. I do enjoy it as a resident.
Correct.
I don't want
As
some
a homeowner,
I don't want some
exactly.
snot-nosed kid knocking on my door past 7 o'clock.
11
Like,
p.m. Hey,
right?
Mayor,
You
where's
know.
my candy
And
bar?
you know that would happen, too.
Of
you
course
know
it
that
would.
would happen.
Yeah, of course it would.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like a good 12 a.m. to 2 a.m.
Oh, there you
kind of
go.
time window.
That's the kind of regulation John
But
wants.
back in the day, trick, there were ramifications. There's no tricks
Absolutely.
anymore.
No
Right.
trick.
It's
Well,
just like,
I'm
they should
okay
just
with
say
that
treat.
as a homeowner, too.
Treat.
I don't need any tricks at the house.
By the way, I don't enjoy the freaking 16-year-old wearing civilian clothes.
I don't
coming to my
either.
door. I'm
I
like,
was
get
just
the
gonna
hell outta
ask
here.
you
What are you
that.
dressed as? I'm dressed as a
Yeah.
rapper. It's like, dude, shut up. Like, get out of
Just
here with
get
that.
it.
Right? Put a damn suit on.
You
Like,
should
throw a
just,
sheet.
you should just throw the
something.
candy bar like out to the street and make him go chase it down. Oh,
Throw it in
really?
the grass.
So you have no problem with the age. It's the lack of
I don't like the age
effort.
either. Yeah.
Okay, you don't
if
like
you're
the
going to
age.
be old,
You better have a costume.
that's right.
Yep.
Don't this isn't 7-Eleven. You
'Cause
don't
I
just
like
show
the-
up and get candy, right?
You can't beat like the Spider-Man or the princess coming with their little pumpkin bag, and then these guys come with like
Right.
a pillowcase or like
That's
a
right.
or like
Pillowcase, too.
or like a
so
or like a
true.
jewel plastic bag.
Yes.
That is, at least they have a damn, I don't like the pillowcase either.
No,
No.
In fact, there's a
I
rule.
agree.
In my house, no pillowcase.
I agree. No
Right?
pillowcase.
And if you're a teenager, you got to have it out.
Better have a costume.
That's right. And it better be something I know.
Oh well,
Whatever, yeah.
that's
Like
not-
superhero something. I mean, just put a little damn effort into
little
it.
effort. Be a ghost.
How about this? I'm gonna have I have different size candy.
Use
I'll
the
have like a
pillowcase
lame
to be a
little like
ghost.
I'm gonna have like a, you know, those little butterscotch
Oh,
tarts.
yes.
The little I'm gonna
Candy
give them one.
corn.
Give yes,
The worst.
One
yeah,
candy
dude, that's
corn.
right. Oh, really?
Wait,
I'm gonna
one kernel.
I'm gonna give you the same effort you gave to your outfit. Here is
Marissa, bring the candy corn out.
That's so
one.
brilliant.
Chink. Drop it in there.
Happy
There you go.
Halloween, rapper.
Yeah. Wake up the next morning, my front window's broken.
Yeah, that would be a trick.
Yeah. By the way,
Like a Fig Newton or something.
Powering America is our premier sponsor this year.
Whoa.
This year.
Go
this
ahead, because I
season.
got something
Tell
else
us
to
more.
ask you.
It's great. Well, no, I mean, Powering America.
Do it.
Season 4 is powered by our premier sponsored Powering America with the
Wow.
explosive growth of renewable energy in America today. Call Powering America to meet your needs for renewable energy in your home or office, including electric vehicle chargers and solar power solutions. Who do we call? Who do we trust? The electrical professionals of Powering
Pow.
America.
Pow.
Visit poweringnorthwestindiana.org. That is poweringnorthwestindiana.org. Powering America is season 4 premier sponsor. Thank you very much.
This is where I was going. You know, you have this is 2 episodes in a row you've had a jersey on. You ripped the hell out of the Bears last
were horrible.
episode. Agreed.
They're going to win this week.
Got a Devin Hester on today.
Yeah, my favorite.
Yeah.
Well, I love Devin Hester.
I did too.
But yeah, you were there when he ran the touchdown back in the Super Bowl.
One of my probably the most exciting sports moment ever.
Yeah, it was cool.
That was cool. But
First play of the game.
yes,
right?
it was. It went downhill from there.
Yeah, but still, that was badass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good. Welcome.
Especially because he was like a Hall of Fame record-setting kick returner, punt returner, and then everybody talked about what a weapon he was, and then the first kick of the game, he runs it back for a touchdown
in the Super Bowl.
That's an awesome start.
Ridiculous.
So he deserves me to wear his jersey on Black Pod.
There's nothing wrong with
so
that.
that the thousands, I mean the millions of people that watch each of our episodes can see.
And for those that are just listening and subscribing, which we like as well on Apple Pod, Stitcher.
I like this jersey
Spotify.
too. I like the dark blue jersey, the Bears jersey.
The Mayor's wearing the traditional dark blue and with orange stripes.
Yep.
23.
This is the home jersey.
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely.
I love it.
All right. We got a good show.
Hey, man.
Yes.
I saw some First off, I saw a couple disturbing things. Have you ever heard of the drug Xiaflex?
Oh no.
I mean, when I ever see a drug commercial, I try to fast forward it.
Should I Google this?
I should have. Yeah, So like it was really, really messed up. It got Marissa like sick to her stomach. In fact, she told me if I talked about this, she was going to turn the pod off. So
oh no. Great, there goes.
She has a red button.
Boop, there it goes.
Shuts it off.
We just went
Marissa,
down one.
You might want to turn it down for the next 1 minute.
I don't even know what this is about.
It is sort of a gross thing, but it's like really when really like I saw it last night. Really? So let's just say it's about a condition shared by men. I don't know. Like I didn't realize this is a problem.
Physical condition.
Yeah, with your
yes,
extremities. Member. So they use a carrot.
It was actually a commercial.
So they have a carrot.
No way.
Like
John,
the commercial
do you like
starts
candy in
out.
your mouth.
Marissa's in the chat.
Are you like
I feel like
seriously
John
eating
has
candy on
candy
air?
in his mouth or
Yeah,
something.
man. Thank you for the suckers, Miss Sirsik.
Yeah.
Hopefully it was a dum-dum.
So anyway, this carrot had a bend in it. That's how the commercial starts.
That's how they described the condition.
And it was like a dog leg right if you're a golfer, right? So you're going down the fairway and then you go off to the right? And they're like talking about how this is a huge problem for some men.
Wow.
Didn't realize this.
Never
Of
heard
course,
that.
I'm not an expert on.
Oh, don't play coy.
So, I didn't realize this was a thing. So, like this drug, Xiaflex,
Fixes this.
Yeah, it straightens
Wow.
out your life.
That is something.
See, I'm trying to like not gross my wife out.
Thank you.
It straightens out
Don't
your
gross
life.
me out
I
either.
use terms like dog leg right and straightens out your life on
carrot.
purpose so that Marissa doesn't get mad at me and
Thank you.
divorce me.
Thank you for staying.
I'm walking thin ice with my wife right now.
Marissa, we're happy.
She's
you
in
stayed
the
along.
chat.
And
But-
she said, did she say something like,
She
stop,
said
Tom?
bye.
Oh,
Oh, really?
I
wow.
think she's leaving you.
Really? She's like, that's serious. I mean, she felt
That's how they
strongly.
do it now.
Really?
On
You
Facebook.
just come home. But like, look at John's showing the carrots.
Yeah, it's a pretty small picture, but
That carrot's got a dog leg right,
I don't
and
know
I
what
can
it
imagine that would be a problem.
That'd be disturbing.
Yeah, you'd have to like
All right, fellas. Well,
you'd have to like adjust your back or something. It'd throw you off.
yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
anyway, Xiaflex. They should be a sponsor at this point.
I cannot believe we're doing these commercials during Monday night. Well, I guess it was.
I can't
Thursday Night
either. A
Football.
lot of these commercials, and then I just listen to all the side effects. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, hot dog fingers.
Yeah. It's all right.
Look at this
excessive.
one. There's a
Yeah,
cucumber.
that's a cucumber with a dog leg left.
Peyronie's disease? How do you say
Yeah,
this?
I don't know.
I don't know, but let's just. All right. On to the next topic, please.
Yeah.
We got a lot to talk
It's
about. We got
disturbing,
serious
though.
stuff to talk about.
I know, but that's disturbing. Yeah, this is another serious. This is another disturbing issue. Yeah, could you take
Okay.
the cucumber off the stream,
Thank you.
please? It's throwing me off.
I'm going to keep it up the whole show.
Just throwing
So how about
off.
this? I'm looking at Instagram the other day,
Okay.
and I see a picture that's gone viral of a very, very pretty young lady. She's an influencer. These people that take pictures and make lots of money.
300,000 people on TikTok follow her.
So like, and she is like, objectively speaking, I'm not saying she's like got the brain, the brains of,
She's an
Andy.
attractive gal.
Very attractive, super pretty, like model type.
Jane Rivera.
Whoa.
And then, unfortunately, Miss Rivera's father recently passed away. So
Young, 56.
right, and then he's his funeral looks like it's in like a veterans hall or something like that. There's like I see a lot of this with the chairs all over the place and the pictures on the back wall.
It's like an American Legion
And there's
or
this
something.
beautiful influencer, standing in front of Dad's casket, posing in a very, very sexy morning dress. The morning, like MOUR, and morning dress, a black like a
That's kind of an oxymoron,
funeral
isn't
dress.
it?
It's a but. Tell me she doesn't look really.
Well, she's a model, or
She's got like black tights on and
Sure.
high heels, and she's super, super pretty, and she's posing in front of his casket like seductively. And obviously, this goes viral because you don't see
I
too
don't know
many.
if I'd call it seductively, just posing. Let's
I
say.
think it's seductive. And keep in mind, Marissa's listening right now. I'm trying to walk thin ice here, but Who does that, by the way? Her dead dad is in the background. Now, you can't see the dead dad, but you could clearly see there's a casket open, and she's sort of blocking his face.
But you can see his arm and hands folded.
And she's like posing, like
in front of it.
Looking hot.
Maybe she's looking sad.
She doesn't look sad. She looks hot.
We are doomed.
Dude,
this was a little bit shocking
it's
to me.
Insane.
I don't get it, man.
Are we just that far out of what is a social norm anymore?
It's over, man.
When they say, does Facebook, does Instagram harm young women? Yes. Like, I am a firm yes now.
Well, it's like, I almost feel like, okay, I'm an influencer. I don't even know how you, John, what level, when do you become an influencer? When you have like 5 people, or do you have to have like 200,000?
Am I an influencer?
I don't know. Tom's
I think you are.
I'm going to start posting.
Sure. Why aren't you posing
never
in front
post.
of caskets?
I
guess what I wonder is, like, if you become an influencer, whatever that definition is, are you somehow then you must photograph and do everything about your life on Instagram, including like, my dad died, let's put myself in front of a casket and put it on Instagram?
Well, think about it. When Beto ran for senator in Texas, he became one of the early influencers, right?
Good point.
And when he would go get like a shave, he would do it live, and he would have hundreds of thousands of people watching him while he's sitting there getting his face shaved.
He showed us the way, what to do.
I think one time
influencer.
he was going to the bathroom and he took it with him.
Come on.
No, I was kidding about that.
Yeah, I mean, this influencer thing.
That would be
I
interesting.
think it's got it. I think
that where's this?
It's made these people that are not famous. I guess I don't even know if it's famous. They just have a lot of people on Instagram that follow them, and maybe the influencers follow each other, so they up their numbers.
This is definitely up the ante in the influencer game.
I'm a no on this. I mean, I think one of the things that was said online I thought was interesting, because she got a bunch of backlash.
You'd think
was. Is having kids really worth it? And have I mentioned the problem of a narcissistic and performative culture?
No kidding.
Her response was, I understand the negative reception, but the photos were taken with the best intentions and in a manner that my dad would have approved with had he still been alive.
No wonder he died at 56.
Well, for me, it's a lot of
I mean, his
stress.
daughter broke his heart multiple times, probably.
For me, I treated the celebration as if my father was right next to me, posing for the camera as he had done on many occasions.
He was right next to her, posing for the camera. He was dead, yeah, but he was sort of right there. You have to give it.
And there were some people that came to her defense saying, not what I would have done, but grief is a weird thing. Maybe putting this girl on blast the day of her dad's funeral is a thing you could have chosen not to do. So there you go.
I think there should be a general rule on Instagram and Facebook, no corpse pictures.
Well, you know that famous Seinfeld episode, right, with George, with the casket? So that.
Oh, where he knocked it over?
Yeah, no, they took a photo at the funeral. So
I don't remember that one.
Yeah.
I don't either. Are you sure that's Seinfeld?
No.
I don't think
Maybe it's Curb Your
just go-
Enthusiasm. It might be all in the same.
it could be.
I was like, dude, I'm a
Help me-
Seinfeld.
Help me,
huge fan.
help me chat.
Did you guys realize Curb Your Enthusiasm started yesterday?
Yeah.
New season.
Have you
How is
seen
it?
Steve reminded me.
I haven't seen it.
My law partner, Steve.
I thought the last season was a little politically correct. It was the weakest of the.
Oh,
I loved it.
no.
I liked it.
I'm gonna watch
Season
them again.
10.
I love Curb Your Enthusiasm. I
do,
love
too.
Larry David.
Larry David.
It's
is
Seinfeld
one of my
on
favorites.
steroids.
I agree.
Yeah,
It's so good.
it's so bad.
Oh,
Like it's
God.
so bad.
It is great.
It's like South Park, actually. South Park is too. South Park gets away with murder because it's a cartoon.
Larry David is very, very good. I cannot wait to watch Curb.
Succession also started on HBO.
I did. I
Nice.
watched the first 2 episodes with Marissa.
Oh, it's Succession. I'm behind.
You know what's weird? John, have you seen it?
Yeah.
It's weird, right? Like, I'm going to say something. I don't know if you noticed this. You
No
could
spoilers.
tell. No, it's not spoiler.
Okay.
But you could tell they filmed it during like COVID lockdowns.
Really?
John, can you agree with that?
I didn't
Watch
pick
it
up
again.
on that.
Every shot that they do is like them in a room or them by themselves.
Wow.
Every shot they do, you don't see them
No
like
crowd,
in public.
no
No crowd at all.
extras.
No crowd at all. Ever.
Yeah, for sure. They
It's
did
always
that.
like them in a conference room, and it'll be like most of the show would be them in a conference
sure
room
they did
arguing,
then.
right?
I bet you're right.
And then like the next one would be like one person by themselves, or like it's really simple
Interesting.
screens, and you could tell it's sort of. I actually don't love it right now, and I love that show. To me, it's a little bit. You could tell it's a little off
All right.
because of right.
I like it.
I'm with you. I think this is so far not the best season. But
It's really like in detail about like an issue, and really, if you look at time wise, like number of days that have passed in the first 2 episodes, it's literally like one day.
it's one day. Yeah.
Like 2
Oh.
episodes have been about like one day, and it's very simple scenes and boardrooms and like very.
I think you picked up on something.
I agree. It's definitely COVID. It's got to be, and I'm sure they shoot it in California, and they're probably struggling to try to figure out how to shoot a pilot or
Right.
how to
Yes.
shoot episodes in a
Some
series.
things problems with shooting things lately
Yeah, man.
on sets.
Let's
All
get
right,
to work.
let's do some ads, pay some bills, and we're going to come back and talk about Tom's Travel Week and all kinds of other exciting things. There's also a big announcement from the campaign today.
Yeah, we're going to do a major announcement from McDermott for Indiana about 2 new hires.
Yeah, very
Which is great.
exciting.
Yeah. Let's start off with Midwest Air Duct Cleaning. At Midwest Air Duct Cleaning, your health is our number one priority. We are dedicated to providing top-notch quality services at an affordable price. Our technicians have been trained to shelter the members of your household from potential airborne contaminants. If you would like more information on how to protect the lungs of your home, contact Marinko and his team at 219-671-8868.
Calumet Brewery wants to tell you about Michelob Ultra. Michelob Ultra is a superior light beer with only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, all while being one of the fastest-growing brands in the region. Or try Ultra Pure Gold, an organic, light lager with only 2.5 carbs and 85 calories brewed for your healthy lifestyle. Enter to win a Michelob Ultra golf bag through calbrew.com. Check out Calumet Brewery's Facebook page for details.
Hey, John, is our video frozen?
No.
Oh, good. Something must be. All right. Tortillas Nuevo Leon. Tortillas Nuevo Leon is the gold standard of Mexican cuisine throughout the Midwest. Look for Tortillas Nuevo Leon's popular red and white label at your local grocery store and enjoy quality Mexican products made with local expertise.
Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor, para ti y tu familia de todo corazón. Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor, para ti y tu familia, de todo corazón.
Wonderful. Makes me want to have some tortillas. What's in the morning? Huevos rancheros.
Yeah.
I would eat tortillas in the morning. Easy.
Breakfast tacos are so good.
I would tear up.
Chilaquiles. How about that?
I could honestly eat Mexican food for breakfast and I'd be fine. I'm talking like Mexican dinner. If you gave it to me at 8 a.m.,
Let's go.
I would tear it
Off
up.
What, like
we go.
a queso fundido, just 8 a.m.,
right now?
like a big pile of melted cheese?
Yeah. I would
Shrimp
tear it up.
Diablo.
I would eat shrimp Diablo is a little. That's a little dinner.
Aggressive for 7 a.m.?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
But I would eat like.
I'm just testing.
That's a good point.
All
I don't
right?
think
There's
I would.
some dinner
Yeah.
items.
Yeah. I would eat like a meat though. That's
Sure,
weird. Why wouldn't I eat
guess.
shrimp?
I don't know. Shrimp's. It's a little weird to have shrimp for breakfast. I think.
I would do it. I mean, just to prove a point.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
to prove that you were right.
Regardless of the restaurant it came from.
But how about like chips, salsa, all that stuff?
I think okay.
Tear it up.
Yeah, in the morning, guac.
I think that's a
I
good.
could do guac in the morning.
Yeah,
Without a
I would
doubt.
tear up some guac. And by the way, like the
Getting me
thing
hungry.
about Mexican food is it like sets me for like I could literally not eat for 12 hours
Look
because
at
I
you.
eat so much.
This is the key.
I'm literally if you put me in a Mexican food restaurant, I eat probably 2,000 calories before I get up out of that.
You're getting me hungry. We got to go get
I
some
love
Mexican
it, man.
breakfast.
Can someone bring some Mexican food to
God,
the
I love
Bat
Mexican
Cave
food.
right
it's,
now?
It's my favorite. I used to think that pizza was my favorite when I was young.
Overruled by.
Mexican food.
There you go.
It's clearly my favorite food. It's clearly my favorite, and I've actually like, yeah. So I'm a.
Thank you.
We need.
He's
we
like,
need-
stop me now because
Stop because
I'll
I'm
go
just
on
gonna,
forever.
I've got to leave.
Why don't
it.
more Mexican food restaurants sponsor our show? I would just talk about how good their food is all day.
Yeah, you would.
And I guess jalapenos is out of the question.
You know why? Because you keep going to them. So like he comes anyway.
I know, right?
We don't need to
It's just a
sponsor.
money
Why
loser.
waste our money?
It's a losing
He's
proposition.
going to talk about us anyway.
He will.
And he does.
Sucker, right?
All right, this weekend, if you're looking for something to do, in fact, tomorrow, Challenger Learning Center. Celebrate Halloween at Challenger's Fright Light Laser Spectacular on Saturday, October 30th. Showtimes are 11 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. Tickets are $12 and must be purchased in advance. To learn more about Challenger Center and their upcoming events, visit clcnwi.com. That's clcnwi.com. Or connect on social media at Challenger NWI on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I actually had a conversation with Laura this week, and she said that the Fright Light Laser Spectacular is almost sold out.
Nice.
So if you're thinking about something
on
to do, get on it now. Go check it out. And she said, thank you to Lockpod for promoting it. She thinks it helped almost sell it out. I said, maybe.
I think so. I think
But-
she's right.
Yeah. So anyway, good luck, Laura, tomorrow.
Because I mean,
She's been a guest on the show.
The millions of people that listen to Lockpod.
The many.
I mean, the huge Belgium population.
Dozens.
I guarantee you she's got a couple people flying over from Belgium to check it out.
Wow. Now, you know what? If there were some Belgians that show up for that Fright Light
all us.
Spectacular,
Can you imagine?
then we know Lockpod.
Right. I love it.
couple Japanese people because we're over there too.
Really?
now. Yeah.
That's awesome.
We're the unofficial podcast of the
Good.
Olympics.
We're slowly
over there.
taking
Happy Saturday, Japan. Is it Saturday there, or which way does it go? Is it
Japan is
Thursday
ahead
or
of us. No,
Saturday?
they're ahead of
They're
us. 12
Hap-
hours.
Happy Saturday.
No,
No.
it's still
12
night,
hours,
dude.
yeah.
What's
Happy
going on?
Friday night,
12 hours ahead.
Tokyo.
Right.
Yeah.
Good
That's-
evening, Tokyo.
It was crazy, like visiting China and being 12 hours ahead. And like going there wasn't as bad time wise, but I remember coming back. So if you go to the east,
Yes.
it's a lot harder to travel. I've noticed that even I did it last week when I went with Marissa to Phoenix, and when we came home, I was like drowsy for a couple days until I got back on.
Trying to think. When I went to Europe over the summer,
When you go there,
going there was a
would be
little
harder.
rougher. Yeah,
Because
agreed.
I don't know and it makes sense because you're not tired. Like when I come from Phoenix here, right? It's 2 hours difference. You get used to Phoenix time, so you come here and you're like, it's like midnight and you're wide awake still.
True.
And then when you have to wake up that first day back, it's literally like waking up at 4 a.m.
Good point.
So like you're super affected that day. When you do it from China back home, it's like a 12-hour difference.
catching up.
Oh man, it took me like 4 or 5 days to get used to
Wow.
it. Yeah.
All right.
Kevin?
Well, you had yes, John.
It's Kobanwa, Tokyo. That's good.
Kobanwa, Tokyo. Kobanwa.
Yep.
Kobanwa.
Get that down for every
Hey
time
John,
we do the pod.
we're gonna need that.
Kobanwa, Tokyo.
We're gonna need that news alert that we picked up last show when we dropped the campaign update.
Oh, all right. That's coming up. Get that
We gotta
ready,
get
John.
Let me
we gotta
get that
ready.
going.
Yeah.
I have to get my voice ready.
So we're doing a travel update.
You had a heck of a busy week.
Because on
around the
Lockpod, we
state.
want you to, and I know Todd Young's campaign listens to every episode. Hey, what's going on, guys? Nice talking to you. And saw Dan the Tracker
Why
a couple
wouldn't they
times this week.
Why wouldn't they be a sponsor?
Yeah, they should. Just throw us a couple
a-
bones.
just
I
a
mean, the guy snaps his finger.
Wants to
raises-
make you read a Todd Young for Indiana.
No, that will not happen. But yeah, Dan the Tracker followed me around again this week. It was good to see him. I
Yes.
haven't seen
Shut
him.
up, Mayor's Night Out.
Shut up, Mayor's Night Out. And I introduced him to the audience.
Yes.
I was wondering if he was going to show up last night to the Democratic Party. I talked about
Oh.
him. I didn't think he would, though.
He's
did not.
becoming quite a character.
I was like pointing him out at Mayor's Night, and I don't know. I'm going to embarrass him everywhere he goes. Like, hey, that's the guy that follows me around. He's paid by the Todd Young campaign to videotape me and follow me.
I think it's pretty fun that they've already got a tracker on you. It shows that, like, why would we have a tracker on a guy that,
You know
can't
what I think
raise
it shows? I think
20 to 1 to get, in funding.
You know who I think it shows? I think it shows that our U.S. Senator Todd Young is a creep. That's what I
Wow.
think it shows. Yeah, seriously. Like
We don't have a tracker on him.
I could put a tracker on him. We have the money. I just don't want to do it. You know why? I'm not a creep. You know, I don't care. Like
Say
I
what
don't
you want to say.
I just don't. I think it shows that, and that's why I like to point it out. Because when most people hear about this, I know some people are used to this in Washington D.C. Right? They're not used to it in Indiana, Todd.
Which kind of shows you what
Yeah,
is D.C. That's
You
like,
have
that's
no
what you do in
clue.
D.C.
You have no clue how Hoosiers feel, Todd. And you got this guy that follows
Good
me
point.
around. He's paid by your campaign to tape me, and I go all over Indiana. And every time I see these people taping me, I point out that these are hired by a creep U.S. senator named Todd Young. He thinks it's appropriate to hire people to follow me around, follow me with my wife, follow me with my kids, and that's his job. He gets paid by Todd Young to do that. I mean, I have no problem with it. You're not going to see anything exciting, but what it does show is that Todd Young is a creep. That's what it shows.
That's the title of the episode, John. Todd Young is a creep.
He is. I mean, doesn't it show that? Who does that? Seriously.
I mean, I think it's kind of weird, and I also think it's kind of early, but whatever. I mean, that's what they're going to do.
I just love it. That's the thing. Keep following me, Dan the Tracker. I have no problem with it. I introduced him in public. He's sort of like turning into a celebrity in him. And everybody's
agree.
like, hey, there's Dan the Tracker, right? But what it does show is his boss is a creep, a creepy guy that has people following other elected officials around. Like, if I had somebody creepy following around Todd Young, he'd probably be like, what the hell? Like, why is this guy following me? I'm a U.S. senator. He'd probably get real serious
Maybe he's
about
used
it,
to
right?
it in D.C.
Yeah, well, he's not used to what Hoosiers want anymore. This
I'm with
guy's
you.
been gone for far too long.
Well, you had speaking of Hoosiers, you had a heck of a week moving around the state and seeing a lot of Hoosiers in a lot of different places.
Yeah,
You
it
were
was a good
like
week.
moving around.
And I was doing a lot of work as Hammond's mayor this week
Agreed.
as well. Don't be
That's
fooled.
what I'm saying. It was all over.
I've been moonlighting.
Yeah, you have.
So I worked on one day this week, and we had a trip where I flew from Midway to Louisville, and I was picked up by Adam Dickey, who's the 9th Congressional District Democratic chairperson.
Thank you, Adam.
Adam scoops me up in Louisville, and then him and I start our trek from Louisville to Jennings County, which where I'm going for their JJ dinner, and I'm the headline speaker that night.
JJ dinner is
Jefferson Jackson dinner. It's a big event held by Democratic parties across the state. We had ours last night. Some call it JJ dinners.
some call it annual dinner.
Right.
There's a Sherman Minton dinner
Right.
in New Albany, whatever
Right.
county that is.
I'm going
Floyd
to that.
County.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyway, we drive to Jennings County, which is Vernon, North Vernon. It's a 45,000 person county.
27.
The county.
Yeah.
I thought the county was bigger than that.
All right, you might be right.
Right. But I know North Vernon and Vernon are both cities in the county.
The only two.
Right. And very historical, by the way. Kevin and I were driving around checking out like Civil War sites and stuff like that.
That was crazy,
I know.
John. There was a you know those really cool like Indiana historic markers. I love those things. Right, they're always in like different places around the state, and they had one at the county courthouse there in Vernon that said there was a Civil War skirmish where some Confederate troops came up and like threatened to take Vernon, and the Union soldiers were like, "Yeah, come on and get
the
some,"
circuit court.
and then they ran away, and then they ran back to Kentucky.
But it's not far. Well, it was, I don't know. When you say ran back to Kentucky, it took me an hour and a half
In
to
a
get
car.
In a car. So
Wow.
when you say ran back, it probably took them 3 days to get back to Kentucky, right? So,
But it was crazy. The county was founded in 1817, like you said. You pointed out to me it was the first governor of the territory.
William Jennings, right? The
crazy.
first provisional governor of Indiana. He wasn't popularly elected. He was appointed by the president at the time, who was probably Thomas Jefferson, I imagine.
1817? No, he was Jefferson was what 1800
And
to
then Madison?
1804 or 8. Yeah, probably.
Madison. So he appoints
Yeah.
Jennings to be Indiana's first provisional governor, and he was governor for quite a while, actually, before we started electing our governors. But anyway, that's who Jennings County is named after. It was a great stop. Got to see a lot of great Democrats I don't get to see very often, like Shelley Yoder, senator from Bloomington.
Yeah.
She's a superstar in southern Indiana. Our friend Linda Lawson.
That was cool because Linda, when she retired, moved to Brown County.
Right, so Linda lives about an hour from
She's
there.
the vice chair.
How about this, John? So when Adam and I pull into the parking lot, we had 3 out of the 4 people in the parking lot were from Hammond.
That's
right.
awesome.
It was
crazy.
so crazy. I was like, how is it that 3 out of the
Welcome
4
to North
people,
Vernon.
right? And Linda's there, Kevin was there, I'm there, and then Adam was there. And I'm like, 75% of the people in the parking lot are from Hammond. It's so funny. But we Patty Yaunt, who's a friend of mine, lined that up. Also on the first off, the chairwoman of Jennings County, Jane Cockrell.
Yeah, she's great.
But chairman of the Indiana Democratic Party was also on the agenda.
It's
that
like
day.
for Jennings County, a small county, I thought it said a lot about the Democratic Party to have that many superstars there.
Mm-hmm.
There was you were there.
He was there as chairman of the party. Let's make that clear. He wasn't there like supporting me.
He was there
because
for the JJ.
Mike Chairman Shmuel is there speaking as chairman of the party. He wasn't there. I was there also, but I don't want to make it sound like he was there like at support because there's a primary and he's not going to get involved like that.
There's a congressional candidate, right? Matt,
Yeah.
is there? Yeah. So
yeah,
it's
nice
really
guy.
cool.
I've run into him a few times, but so I think I gave a really good speech. I really do, and I think I'm starting to get good with this speech that I'm giving around the state right now.
I think my favorite quote of the evening of your speech was "The cherry delight was delightful."
I don't think I've ever used delightful in a speech until that day, but it was so perfect.
It's so.
It was called Cherry Delight.
Yeah.
It was like Cool Whip cherries and graham cracker crust.
Oh, it sounds
I'm telling you,
Who
John,
would not like that?
Oh.
Communists.
the food at these JJ's is unbelievable.
I'm going to put on 50 pounds during this. That's why I have to keep running,
The food
man.
is so good. Like this is 2 out of 3, John. They've had peach cobbler, which is my favorite dessert of all time,
So good.
So
with ice cream.
I'm by the way, I've been working out. Like I've been
You have to.
running. Like because I don't have time for the workouts like I was doing for the try. So I'm making sure I'm running 5Ks every chance I get now.
Yeah, but you're going back to your speech. I thought it was great.
Yeah,
You fired up the crowd.
I did.
In fact, I
we
think
had people driving from all parts of Indiana and southern Indiana. We had the Bartholomew County chair that showed up.
yeah, it was great. I think you got attracted to him right away because he had his ND sweatshirt on.
As soon as I see that, I'm like, we're going to be friends. And it happened to be the chairman of Bartholomew County.
Yeah.
And he invited us. We're going to go back, which is Columbus, Indiana, which is a gorgeous city in southern Indiana.
If you've never been there, it's beautiful.
They don't consider it southern Indiana, but we do.
Right.
But it's more like south of Indy, but
Southeast,
45 minutes southeast of Indy. But it's gorgeous if you've never been to Columbus. I coached baseball tournaments there a few years in a row. Have you ever been there, John?
No.
Famous architecturally.
Yeah, it's famous for its architecture. It's a small, I don't know, less than 100,000 people, and it's got amazing architecture, and it's because of the Cummins plant that's located in Columbus. They are really big into public art.
The thing I thought was really cool when we talked to Chairman Schottmer was that he said that the Columbus City Council is now 5-4 Democrats.
Yeah. By the way, John, you know what Columbus, Indiana is famous for, right? Politically,
I don't know.
Mike Pence.
Mike Pence is home
where he
started.
started.
Whoa.
And it's 5-4 Democrats right now in that city.
That's
council.
right.
So
Whoa.
really interesting. And that's what I thought was interesting. I mean, this is a small county in Jennings County, huge crowd. over 100 people show up for this dinner.
Yeah.
And it was phenomenal. Everyone was all fired up. They couldn't wait to meet you. Couldn't wait to say hi.
The dinner was, wow.
I mean, I'm telling you, that's what makes me want to go on the road
felt
with
like,
you.
because they were nice enough because I was speaking, so they had me go up first. I had so much food on my plate. I was like hiding it when I was walking by people. I'm like, it was like literally mounted like it was Thanksgiving or something. I'm gonna wave.
So is Dan the tracker at every one of these events?
No,
if he knows where I'm gonna be, he'll be there.
And how would he find out?
Because like a lot of times it's public where I'm going to be, like Mayor's Night Out, right? Or like my fundraiser. If it's public where I'm going to be, he'll be there. Because he doesn't know, like if I show up to a restaurant, he's not going to be there unless he's a total creep and he's literally
sitting outside your driveway.
Well, no, do that and he'll find a present waiting for him. Because no, seriously, I mean seriously, I'm the mayor. And I do have creeps besides Dan the tracker. Right? I do have creeps following me around, and the Hammond Police Department would not take that sitting down if he was like staking out my house.
Well, it becomes a bit of a safety issue.
It is
for
a safety
you and your
issue.
family.
Yeah, man. You can't be doing that to elected officials. I mean, I don't think Todd Young wants me to hire somebody to sit outside of his driveway and follow him around, right? He'd get real serious about that, right?
Yep. Make
him and his family feel uncomfortable. I wouldn't do that. What kind of a-hole does that?
I mean, you still have family time.
That's right.
You have to.
So,
well, anyway, that was a good hit. Jennings County, very, very, very cool.
So anyway, like I fly to Louisville, get driven to Jennings County. Kevin and I jump in the car together, go from Jennings County to Indianapolis, where we meet with the council president of Indy. We meet with the Senate minority leader of Indy and a couple other people that we know very well, just people we've known over
friends
the years.
Friends of ours in Indianapolis.
Right, and then that was a great meeting, right?
Awesome. I mean, they're fired up in Indianapolis. I mean, the
Vop Asili is the council president of Indy.
We've known Vop for...
Yeah, back when he ran for Secretary of State. We were huge supporters of his. I made enemies in that race.
I remember.
He knows that too, and Vop and I have been dear friends ever since. It's great to see him.
And he's the president, am I correct, of the City County Council? What do they call? Is that what they call it?
City County Council.
City County Council,
right. But Vop's the president, and he's an ally of the mayor, who's a fan of the show, Lockpod. And then Greg Taylor, who I've known for a very long time. I've actually flown in a plane with him, where I flew the plane, and
he didn't like that.
He did not like that. he pulled me out of the cockpit and made the pilot fly it.
And Greg's a great guy, and what a great leader.
And the Senate minority leader. And he's a young guy. I mean, when I say young, he's like our age. Good friends with a dear friend of Kevin and mine, Joe Smith.
It was good to see Joe
a friend of the show also.
Yeah.
But it was great. We had a couple
guests on the show.
And then, think about it. I fly to Louisville, go to Jennings County, go to Indy, have this meeting, and I'm wiped. It's been a long day. Kevin and I literally go to bed.
That place was packed,
and
by
then
the way.
Woke up the next morning, had an early appointment. We had to hit the road running. And, Future Farmers of America is going on.
For those, that's such a foreign thing for folks. I mean, for me, we grew up in the city up here and near Chicago. But I'll tell you, Future Farmers of America, they came to represent. They were, like, Indy was, like, on gridlock.
Yeah.
It was crazy. We waited 25 minutes for the car at the hotel in the morning.
And not only that, just the elevator. There was Future Farmers of America is largely kids.
Yeah.
And they're like kids staying in Indianapolis at a nice hotel, which is where we stay at the Hyatt usually.
And they're probably not used to big city, right? They're used to they're rural kids coming into the Indianapolis.
So
it's a big deal.
Kevin and I stay there a lot.
Yep.
So they put us on the upper floors. I guess that's nice of them.
Sure.
But on this day, it was not nice because I'm on floor 18. And I literally stopped at every level because the kids, they were shuffling in and out going, I got to go from floor 4 to floor 5.
Right.
So bing, 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 all the way up. It literally was like a commute. Took me 10 minutes to get to my floor. Yeah.
Yeah, but we made it. And then we were able to see, you kept on your kind of your campaign track that morning.
And now Kevin and I have a thing where I can't eat crap anymore. I'm trying not to. So, he made me eat at Cracker Barrel.
Yeah. Well, wait, we want to talk about Hamilton County real quick?
Yeah. We met with the chair of Hamilton County, Dana Colbert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was great.
Is it Colbert or Colbert?
She says Colbert, but she said she had a brother named Stephen. So there's a Stephen Colbert in her family, or Colbert, I guess. So.
She's a great young lady. You don't see county chairs, young women, very often as county chairs. And so she's truly spectacular. Hamilton County chair. Which is, Fishers, Carmel, in that area, Westfield, in that area, growing, booming. Purple, meaning it used to be mostly red, now it's starting to turn more blue. So it's an area that a lot of people think I could win in, and she is outstanding, young, dynamic county chair. I'm not going to guess her age. I'm going to say in the 30s, for sure.
Low 30s, yeah.
Young
I agree.
30s. And she's the chair. By the way, When I was elected Lake County chair, I was 40, and that was an accomplishment. And she's 10 years younger than I was.
And this is a big county.
Yeah.
It says some of the largest cities in
almost
the
as
state
big
of
as Lake
Indiana.
County. Yeah, Lake County is the second largest,
I bet Hamilton's third.
probably, because Fishers, Carmel, and Westfield.
Yeah.
It's probably 300,000 people between those three cities.
I thought
in
the
that
interesting
ballpark.
thing was she was a self-described introvert.
Yeah, she starts off saying that.
Yeah,
I didn't see that.
And you said, "Well, what got hey, Madam Chairman, what got you involved in politics?" And her answer was,
Donald Trump.
"Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
She's
how I
like-
got involved."
She's like, I could have went, sat back and just relaxed and, relied on other people to fight him, or I could have done it myself.
And she got involved, and she was like a young Democrat. Next thing you know, she's chair of Hamilton County. So Dana Colbert, awesome.
So on the way back, John, and I'm literally like trying not to eat fast food because it's tempting when you're on the road and you're starving. And Kevin made me eat a meal at Cracker Barrel, which
Well-
was like I've never had a non-breakfast at Cracker Barrel.
Yeah,
And it was
right.
good.
I mean, it
And
was good, right? Because Tom wanted to go to Steak and Shake. It was closed, which was kind of weird. And then I said, well, I go to this Cracker Barrel. We're in West Lafayette. We go to this Cracker Barrel with Charlie. I usually stop there with him on the way back from soccer tournaments. And we went down, sat down.
I
Good
like
deal, right? I mean, it's not
see,
healthy.
It's not junk.
Not healthy, though.
I used to like just eat junk food, like junk. I had like a rock
You
gut.
can't do that anymore.
I cannot. I learned my lesson one time, and I just
Oh,
I
no.
did. Yeah, man, it was a bad scene too. It was like important.
I cannot. All right, now I can't wait for this.
So
Oh no.
okay, because like we already went into my weakness for Mexican food, right?
Yes.
Well, the weakest of my weaknesses at the time was Taco Bell.
How can that even be described as Mexican food?
I would describe it as Mexican food.
I would too.
Thank you, Kevin.
I
Why don't you
wonder
get
what-
into detail?
I wonder
on
what
why
Mexican
you think
Americans would say about that.
No, they would say it's crap food. Okay, but I still love it, and I would just dump it in hot sauce.
Not
right?
anymore.
No, I learned my lesson.
Oh.
Yeah,
Right.
dude. You learn your lesson. You don't go back. Like, have you ever gotten drunk off of something and you never drink it again?
Goldschlager would
There
have
you
been
go.
like at age like 20,
So, like, if I
we'll
got
say
you a bottle
21,
of
just to
Goldschlager
make
and
it
I was
legal.
like, hey, have a couple sips, you'd probably be like, no, right? That's how I am.
Cold Southern Comfort. Would
That's
be
how I
another
am
one.
with Taco Bell, Kevin. Because, they had these things. You remember those? They may still have them because I don't go there. The Taco Loco, you know what I'm talking
Oh
about?
yeah. Dorito shell.
Look at John. John's like, oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
John
yeah.
knows.
Oh, I
John
know
knows,
Taco Loco.
right? And they're great, right? Because I love Doritos
Fantastic.
too. So you put Doritos and Mexican food together? Sign me up, right?
I'm not
Amazing.
going there. I
So
don't
this
go
is
there.
like an important day, though. It was like August. I remember it because I had to do the Morton High School. We unveiled the field this day. So this is like 10 years ago.
And when you say unveil the field, you mean I think
The city of Hammond helped the school city, and we like basically built a turf field for
It was
them.
the first turf field in the area.
That's right.
Before Munster, before
and this is back when
yeah.
Morton High School was the powerhouse football team, and they still are to a certain extent. But this is when they were like class of the region, right? So they had this brand new football field. The mayor really made it happen. I really did. I'm not like patting myself on the back, but it was really sort of initiated by the city, right? So they invite me out on the first day,
Nice of them.
but like I had like 5 Taco Locos, right? Tons of hot sauce on it.
Churning in your stomach.
Dude, and then like to top it off, they also have like the what's the Mountain Dew they have there that's really good? It's not
Oh.
Mountain Dew.
No, it's like the blue Mountain Dew.
Yeah, that stuff.
Oh, I forget what.
So anyway, that's
Lord,
another
man.
what?
So I got like the
trying to do to
big
yourself?
American size cup, right? They're like, I'm an American. Give me an extra large. I want 5 of those Taco
Tom
Locos.
McDermott starring in Super Size Me.
So like, give me like 20 hot sauces because I love hot sauce, and I just like. bleh.
This
else?
is breakfast, right?
Yeah.
This is like
Yeah.
this is like a late lunch. Okay.
Baja Blast. That's
Baja
it.
Blast.
Chad, thank you, Josh
Chad.
Huddleston.
Dude, give me some
Baja Blast.
another week is
Oh,
right?
man.
So
Thank you,
anyway,
Josh.
I don't even think because I got a rock gut, right? And it's like hot this day. It's August. It's the first game of the season. You know how that is. It's like it could be 98 degrees on that day, right? So I get invited out there.
Wait a minute. Do you think it was hotter because you were sweating because of the hot sauce?
Well, I think the hot. No, this is like so. After a couple hours of eating my great rock gut lunch, I go out to the field and I have this awesome speech, and I'm proud of myself. This is a big day.
It is
for
a big
me.
day.
It's a big day for the school.
It was a good crowd.
Big crowd. And like this is before the football game. All the kids are there. All the parents are there. First game of the season. I'm there. Everybody's like, clapping. And then the superintendent of schools who's speaking right before
Dr.
me.
Watkins.
Dr. Watkins is up there, and I know I'm next, right? And I'm sitting there, and I'm like looking around, smiling.
Proud day.
Proud day. It's like 150 degrees, right? And then I feel like in my stomach,
Never a good.
just like a like, and I'm like, and I'm like literally, I like feel cold sweat go down my face, and I'm like in front of thousands of people, okay, and I'm like, I'm going to crap my pants
That's
right
a
here on the
bad-
field.
that is
right?
a bad feeling.
And I'm like, oh my God, like I'm next to speak.
What are you doing? What do
What do you do?
What do you do?
I'm on the freaking 50-yard line, right?
You couldn't even get to a bathroom if you
Dude,
needed to.
the bathroom was like 2-minute sprint from where I am, right?
So what?
It was like getting back to Kentucky, like the
Yes.
the Vernon thing. It's so far away.
It seemed like it was 3
3
days.
bike.
So I'm sitting there, and Dr. Watkins, and I'm like,
John.
and then I have just enough time before Dr. Watkins turns over to me, and my mind is like, there's no way you're going to be able to do this speech, dude. Get off the field right now. My body's like,
wait a minute.
whoop, whoop, whoop,
Before you
emergency
spoke?
alert, right? Dude, this is right before I go on stage.
So do you speak?
Yeah, I spoke.
Oh
what am I
my
supposed to
gosh.
do? The worst speech I've ever given.
Truncated speech.
It was like 12 seconds.
Big proud moment.
Dude,
Can't wait to
12
talk about what he
seconds.
did.
I want to get a copy of that speech. It's out there. It's out there. Somebody's got this.
I want to see the close up, the
Dude,
sweat.
Oh my God, I was dying, dude. There was not thinking about the speech at all. I'm thinking like, where is the bathroom? I'm looking like one eye on the bathroom, the other eye on the crowd, right? I'm like, thank you, Dr. Watkins. This is a great day for Mormon High School, for Hammond. I gotta go. Take care. Boom, running to like running,
fast walking.
Let me tell you something. No, like
God.
sprint, like
Sprint
panic,
walking.
like panic sprint. Like I'm going for the end zone, right? And everybody's like, "Man, the mayor's in a hurry, right?" And I go,
Thank you, Mayor.
I go
Thank
straight.
you.
Now, keep in mind, we didn't upgrade the bathrooms at all. Okay, so like the bathrooms are like 1970s era, no door on the stall. Bathroom.
No.
It's humiliating.
No.
So I come in like on fire. There's like people in there
No.
like. Everybody knows I'm the mayor because I just got off the stage, and I'm like, clear out! Like, I'm coming through!
No door on the stall?
No, my legs are sticking out, the whole thing.
So some like kids coming in and just take a whiz.
Dude,
You see two hands just grasping.
They cleared out. They knew it was a huge emergency. They cleared out. So like,
Both hands on the support bars, John.
yeah, it was a total walk of shame after that. I did not stay and watch
stay for the game?
No, did not watch the game.
See everyone.
All right,
come out.
going. I'm obviously not feeling well. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Go Morton, right?
Enjoy the field.
Jeez,
I'm picturing that scene in Dumb and Dumber. In that,
It was
in
the
that
worst.
one.
It was the worst ever. So basically, I gave up Taco Bell on that day for the rest of my life.
That's it.
It's like my Goldschlager. It's your. It was my
That was your
Goldschlager.
last Taco Loco.
That was the last Taco Loco.
Was it your last Baja
I don't drink
Blast?
Baja Blast. Nothing. I gave it all up after that day. So, so when we're on the road, John, the moral to the story is I am not going to eat crap food. So we ate at Cracker Barrel.
That is good.
I'm in tears. I don't think I've ever laughed so hard on Mock Pod.
So we ate at Cracker Barrel instead, John. So when you're on the road with me and you realize why we're not eating McDonald's or Taco Bell, you
That's
know why
why.
now, right?
Where has that story been? I've known you for
Maybe
years.
Dan the Tracker will follow you into a bathroom.
It's not one of my proud moments. I'll be honest with you.
Fantastic.
That is so good.
Let's
That's
do our
a
ads
keeper.
and then we'll jump into a big news announcement from
Yeah,
McDonald's,
let's
Indiana.
do it.
After we give you a great story about me, we'll give you a really.
I gotta wipe my eyes, literally. Like I'm crying.
Thank you. All right.
Oh boy.
All right, Misprint. Misprint specializes in delivering the highest quality signs and printing on time and within budget. Misprint's experience and technology allows them to offer custom, commercial, on-demand printing and sign solutions and metal business cards. That's right, metal business cards. Rick gave me my new metal business card last night.
Oh, you got it.
The one with the correct address.
Nice.
So my neighbors will not be getting protest letters
Or mail.
anymore. Right, or letter.
Or
yeah,
donation checks.
if they do.
Dan the Tracker will be sitting outside the correct house.
Yeah, Dan,
No.
you know, like, Dan's been 2 doors down.
That's right. Is that Dan the Tracker?
Yeah.
Rick Baltensberger and his team have served the Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana for over 30 years. They have 2 convenient locations in Munster and in Hammond.
Byway Brewing is a family-friendly microbrewery with a spacious tap room and outside patio. Brewing equipment offers a unique backdrop for your private event like weddings, reunions, and corporate parties. They're conveniently located just off of 8094 at the Kennedy Avenue South exit. Come on by and enjoy Byway's award-winning beers and unbeatable menu.
Try Electronics. Try Electronics wants to be your complete communications provider. Try Electronics has been a leader in this industry for more than 55 years, and they're dedicated to assisting their clients with their system integration needs. We have the expertise and experience to provide superior results for a wide variety of projects. For more information, call Try Electronics today at 1-800-722-6793.
Grisolia's Concrete. Grisolia's Concrete was voted #1 in the Times Best of the Region 2020 and 2021. Grisolia's Concrete specializes in all of your concrete projects, and they've been using the original cement finish in the California style.
Knows
Since
how to
1972.
party.
And also offers stamp and color concrete. For more information or a project quote,
in the city
called Rizzolia's Concrete.
City of Hammond.
At 219-659-4127. Rizzolia's Concrete. Good work, boys.
I know, that was good.
Wow.
My harmonies are a little off, but it's early. I haven't
needs
had my
Lindsay?
Mexican breakfast yet.
We got to work
Here's
on that.
Pete from Chad. If you believe Taco Bell is Mexican, wait until you learn that Pizza Hut is not Italian.
That's a good point. By the way, Lindsay, we missed you, babe. She's
Yes, the Notorious LMP. We even announced that she was going to be
between
here.
Lindsay and Jill, we're going like Jill should be back next week.
She
though,
should
right?
be.
And Lindsay will be back next week.
Good.
She's getting slammed at work.
Oh.
Between COVID, between nursing school,
Yeah.
and between like her work is picked up tremendously. She's very, very busy.
We
so.
miss you, Notorious LMP.
We do. And she would normally do her spot right here, which says rate and subscribe, please. We get better algorithms and all that with the more subscribers we get, and it really matters if you rate and subscribe. Send letters to us. You can send it to Lockpod. You can send it through me, through social media, and we'll read them on the air. But
If you have any sponsoring information or you'd like sponsoring information, email steve@lockpod.com.
Yeah, and we made a big announcement the last show, which is we're going to be phasing over to YouTube. So be sure to subscribe on YouTube.
Yes.
we're going to do the next season.
Dual stream.
Dual stream. Live on YouTube and live on Facebook simultaneously.
Yeah, so head over to YouTube, just type in Left of Center Podcast. It'll come up. It's like the first result, and subscribe.
Dual stream.
We want to be nationwide, you know what I'm saying? And if we go nationwide, then everybody in the
there's a
country,
song there.
the country could hear
Nationwide.
they could hear our Taco Bell stories. across the
Lockpod is
country.
on your side.
Not just Lockpod is on your side. So anyway, hey, we got a huge news announcement, John.
It's exciting.
Uh-oh. Did you say news announcement?
This is Left of Center with Tom McDermott and Kevin Smith with a big campaign announcement. McDermott for Indiana.
All right.
That's so official. I love it.
That is great.
We hired our first 2 staffers.
Congrats.
It's great. You want to get into the background of our 2 staffers, Kevin?
Yeah, this is exciting, especially for me, because this is going to be helpful to the campaign. And
Ariel Brandy and Joe Shepard, first off, are the 2 staffers we hired. Both are like phenomenal
superstars.
young Democrats
Yeah.
and excited campaign staffers and experienced veterans of campaigns. And we're super lucky to have them. Now, Kev, could you go into a little? Let's start with Ariel.
Yeah, Ariel Brandy is the new director of voter engagement for McDermott for Indiana, and she was the state director for Pete for America. She also worked on...
That's good credentials.
I would say.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. She's from South Bend native.
She was at our first stop, my first
She
campaign
was,
stop. Yeah.
which is where we met her. And she is really, I think this quote from Mayor Tom is good. Ariel's passion on women's issues and empowering young people and people of color into leadership and mentoring will make sure that those issues continue to be important parts of my campaign. She's a native of South Bend, self-described proud Afro-Latina voting rights advocate and community organizer, and she was recently elected as National Secretary of the Young Democrats of America. So pretty amazing
National
credentials.
Secretary.
Think about that.
We'll keep her on board for the future run for president for Buttigieg.
Yeah. And she's going to be great, and she's going to be helpful with all kinds of things, communications. She's going to be instrumental on making sure that certain issues continue to be part of the campaign. And she said that she was, this is her quote, "I'm very excited to join McDermott for Indiana and to begin the work to get Tom elected to the United States Senate. Tom's message is one that resonates with Hoosiers, and his common sense approach to issues will make him Indiana's next great senator."
That's awesome.
Thanks, Ariel.
Yeah, Ariel.
She's going to be
By
great.
the way, because I'm not a young Democrat. I'm a middle-aged Democrat, and so we and a lot of the people. It's funny because Kevin and I over the years have always sort of been planning a statewide run and getting to know people that are going to be key when we decide it's time to pull the trigger, like we recently announced. And unfortunately for us, all of our former young Democrat friends are also now middle-aged Democrats.
We talked about that.
And they got like kids
Right.
and jobs, and they can't devote the time to us. So
Yep.
Kevin and I had to delve back into young Democrats and ask who are the superstars
And we found him, and a lot of friends of ours around the state recommended Ariel. We're like, this is something
I heard
you
Ariel's
need
name
to...
so many times. Like, they were like, have you met Ariel Brandy? And I'm like, no. Why haven't you? I'm like, well, I'm 52. That's one reason. Like, and then when we finally did get to touch base with her, I'd already known so much about her, and she was just an outstanding young lady. She is just an outstanding young lady.
I think she's excited to be
she's
part of your
gonna
team.
help us so much. I'm so happy that she's on board, and looking forward to working a long, long time with Ariel. And super happy that she's on board. And I know she's probably a huge listener of Lockpod over there in South Bend, bumping up our South Bend numbers.
Thank you, Ariel.
Thanks, Ariel. It's great to have you on board. We're super lucky. And why don't you go into Joe Shepard and his
Yeah,
background?
Joe Shepard. So those of you that are longtime Lockpod listeners probably remember a young man who brought Tom this T-shirt that's sitting right next to him.
That's right. He was on Lockpod.
United Rural Democrats. And Joe Shepard is a student at Iowa State, but he's got region roots, and he was the founder of United Rural Democrats, which and he's organized in several Midwest states. United Rural Democrats has over 23,000 Twitter followers in 1 year.
Yeah.
I mean, he's made a difference. And like you said, Mayor, you've known Joe for almost a year, and having him jump on board to make sure the campaign is fully present in every county in Indiana is going to make a big difference in this election. When you took office as mayor, several rural areas around Indiana were Democrat. That's changed over the last 18 years, and it's time to get those areas back. Democratic ideals are important to rural Hoosiers, and I'm not going to ignore their voices and votes, said Mayor Tom.
Right. Yeah.
And Joe said, I'm ready to make a difference for Tom in this election. I'm looking forward to taking advantage of all of URD's contacts and turning those into action and votes next year. So thanks, Joe. Real exciting to have Joe. I mean, he's an organizer.
Yeah.
Joe reached out to us and said, hey, can I help you do something? And I said, yeah, Joe, we're gathering these petitions around the state. And he said, give me a day. In 1 day, he had petitions in 20 counties.
That's awesome.
Just because he reached out to his network.
So he's the Rural Outreach Director,
Yep.
and the title for Ariel is Director of Voter Engagement. But quite frankly, they're the first two hires I made, and I made sure both of them heard from me. Obviously, I'm talking to them and saying, if you look around the city of Hammond and you look at the people that were on my first campaign, a lot of them are still around, right? That shows loyalty. I'm a loyal person. When you're on our team, and we, and to the victors go the spoils. So, they're the first ones on, and they're, the smart ones.
Yeah.
And I'm super lucky to have them. Can't wait to work with them, and hopefully we make a long career out of working together.
If you're interested in the campaign, info@gomcdermott.com.
info@gomcdermott.com.
Send your resume there.
So there you go. That was our news flash of the day. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Oh, shit.
Oh, whoops.
I wasn't ready for that.
This has been a breaking announcement from McDermott for Indiana.
All right. We're so official.
John, shit, I wasn't ready for that.
We're so official, yeah. I got to get that stream deck.
Hey,
I'm going to be doing this all day.
There's something going on in Indiana right now we wanted to talk about. It has to do with your school boards.
This is crazy.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you. This to me,
To some of us.
I tell you what, Kevin, I like the fact that they're jacking around with school boards because it's going to piss people off. And if you look around Indiana, at the cities and towns in Indiana, there are more mayors that are Democrat than Republican.
Good point.
So, I imagine we start. So anyway, right
be
now in
careful what
Indiana,
you wish for.
Be careful what you wish for. A supermajority of Republicans that you may not get what you're bargaining for. But right now, there's a movement afoot to take our school boards in every city and town in Indiana and make them partisan instead of nonpartisan. Like when you run for school board, it's in a November election and there's no party label attached to the candidates for that office. You're literally just voting for the person because they want to keep the politics out of schools, right? Mm-hmm. Well, the Republican supermajority doesn't like politics out of schools because they want to pressure you politically when you want to do horrible things to their kids, like make them wear a mask in school during a pandemic. So they're like, this is outrageous.
Let's out the Democrats.
We're going to out the Democrats trying to force my kid to wear a mask. My son, Patrick, wears a mask every day. And doesn't give a crap about wearing a mask.
No.
He
little kids don't.
He gets in my car when I pick him up from school and wears the mask halfway home. He doesn't even think about it.
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head right there. Most kids are not political. Little kids, right? Elementary school
follow
kids,
rules.
middle kids. Yeah, they just say, what do you want me to do, teacher?
Hey, Charlie, we're in a pandemic. I need you to wear a mask at school. Charlie's like, no problem.
Yep.
Because he's a rule follower. Because that's what kids want to do. They want to know what the rules are, and they want to follow them.
They don't want to know if their school board's Democrat or Republican.
That's right. Instead, you have a parent like, little Charlie, that's your constitutional right not to wear a mask. Nobody can force you to wear a mask. It's like, shut the hell up, America. Shut the hell up. God dang, man. We're in a pandemic. Can't we even get together on an issue so simple, right? So in Indiana, we don't want these kids being forced to violate the U.S. Constitution and wear a mask to class. So the answer is, let's politicize the school boards.
Sure, great idea.
I am a Democrat and I am going to run for school board. Well, I'm a Republican and I'm running for school board. That's what we want in our schools, right?
Sounds terrible.
We want Democrats and Republicans. We want some D.C. gridlock on the local school board is what we want, right?
I read a couple comments by Representative Morris, who's a, just a peach.
Isn't he the one that like threatened the
I went
Girl
after,
Scouts?
went after the Girl Scouts. Yeah.
What does that mean? I remember he threatened them, said they were like indoctrinating like communism into little girls.
It was some. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I know that he had an issue with the Girl Scouts.
He had, and there was a major backlash against Representative Morris for like criticizing the Girl Scouts. I think it was like communists or something
really?
like that.
I don't remember what it was.
Like indoctrinating like leftism into the young girls around Indiana. So like he had protests, but now he's like, okay, I moved on from the Girl Scouts. Now I want to politicize your school board.
Yeah, I found it really interesting that he said, parents call me. How can I protest? How can I make sure my voice is heard that I don't agree with what these school boards are doing? And he said, well, that decision's made at the ballot box when they vote. And if they're not sure what party they affiliate themselves with, it's very important to make sure that happens. Great idea.
Representative Lucas, who supports this idea of politicizing the school boards, this is his quote, and I think it's interesting. The schools are being politicized now, he says. Let's rip the mask off and let people know where potential school board members stand.
So it's basically like we want to out
play
you.
on words. But they're like, let's rip the mask off and expose yourself to be a Democrat or Republican, and let's rip the mask off. It's pretty funny that he said that, because that's really what the issue is all about, right?
We're not funny, right? Exactly. It's funny as in not funny.
Kids in Hammond School City, they all wear masks. Like, why is this a problem? I just don't get it.
It's an adult problem that they're trying to make.
It's an adult
a kid
problem that they're bringing down to their kids, and
well, you've seen these crazy things that I was listening to Howard Stern a couple weeks ago, and they had like crazy school board moms or something like that was a bit, and it was just insanity at these school boards.
Yeah, and when you talk about politicizing the schools in Indiana, so this is just another step of something that's already been politicized. Remember when Glenda Ritz was the superintendent of public instruction? In Indiana?
Last Democratic statewide official, I want to say. 2012.
2012? Okay. So anyway, Glenda Ritz runs in Indiana, becomes the popularly elected superintendent of public instruction, and she was a Democrat. And it was shocking when she won. And she went in and represented her office. And she's a Democrat, so she's obviously philosophically going to do things that Democrats would do, because she's a Democrat and she won the election.
Like put a focus on public education.
Right. And like advocate for public education and increase funding.
And teachers.
Right.
Teacher pay.
Right. And then the Republican supermajority just hated her. And they couldn't handle the fact that a Democrat got elected to that position. And how dare Indiana do this? And how we're not going to ever have this happen again. So they got rid of it. And they said, from now on, we're not voting for this position. The governor appoints.
And there was one more election.
Right.
And
Jennifer
McCormick.
Jennifer McCormick got elected. She was Republican. She stays in for about a year as a Republican and then realizes this supermajority is not giving us anything we need. So she switched parties and becomes a Democrat.
Which should tell you where the supermajority is on education in the state of Indiana.
She was the last one elected, though.
Yep.
And now it's appointed by governor.
But isn't that just I think that's the irony, right? That the rationale that the supermajority had for taking the superintendent of public instruction out of the election was to not politicize education. That's what they said.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And now they're saying, let's politicize education.
Mm-hmm.
But do you guys think this is a coincidence, the timing of this?
No.
I mean,
it's all about the mass, in my opinion.
Remember, there's no coincidence
I think
in politics.
I think it's beyond that. I think I agree with the first part of that guy's statement that the school's been politicized. The DOJ, I mean, do you guys think parents are domestic terrorists for opposing a curriculum?
No.
I mean, that's a huge story right now.
But I don't think they're domestic terrorists, but I don't.
Okay, but that's the term, literally the term.
By whom?
The Biden administration has given the DOJ. You guys, this is not Kevin.
Is this a conspiracy?
This is not a conspiracy. Dude, are you guys not seeing this news at all?
No.
You get the algorithm that feeds you the bullshit that makes you insane, John. You realize
I'm shocked you guys have not.
So you're saying the Biden administration, the DOJ has described
parents opposing certain curriculum, as domestic terrorists.
That's crazy.
It's not crazy.
Okay, well,
I mean, it is crazy.
So what I'm saying is, so there's this stuff happening, politicization in schools, and then everyone's all of a sudden shocked when someone says, you know what, school board members should have their party affiliation next to their name on the ballot. I don't think it's crazy at all. I love the idea.
I think that people that care about our schools should be on the school board.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't matter what party they're from.
I agree.
And I think really, because you know what will happen also is that, I mean, school board elections are real important to people that have kids in schools. And that have, and for those parents, they should be able to elect their school board based on the person, I think, and what
John,
their position is.
You know what that's going to mean in Hammond is it's going to be all Democrats. I mean, let's just be honest, right? I mean, that's the thing. I don't necessarily think that's the best thing, but where I live, anywhere in Lake County, there's not going to be a Republican.
Well, let's say this, though. Let's say someone's a Republican that is on the Hammond school board,
right,
and is doing a phenomenal job,
right,
and everybody loves that person,
right.
But because Hammond's a Democratic town, it's going to be they're going to lose.
I'll be honest
because they have to identify with their party.
John C. I'll just say I'm not sure what his political affiliation is. Yeah. He could easily be a Republican. He's on the school board. I think he's great, but if he has to run, John Zazula, I never. He may be Republican. I'll be honest with you. I'm not sure if he is or not. I know he probably supports me, and he seems like a great guy, but he could be. Let's just say he is, just for sake of circumstances. He's an excellent school board member.
Absolutely.
But if he's Republican and he has to affiliate with the Republicans and run for election in Hammond, he'll lose.
There was a gentleman that ran against you for mayor that lost terribly and should have as a Republican.
Right.
But then he ran for school board and won in a non-partisan election.
That's right. He would never win.
He would never win a general. So, I mean, John, I guess what I'm saying is it goes both ways. I mean, it's easy for the Republicans in the state to say, oh, this is great, because all these counties where we have a Republican majority, supermajority in the elections, in county elections, we're going to win all these school board seats. But the reality is, if you have a good Democrat in those counties that everybody likes in the school board, they're not going to be on the school board anymore. If you have a good Republican in Hammond that's on the school board, he or she's going to be off.
I agree with you. What I'm actually trying to say is, where does this end? There's this constant escalation on each side, and it's like, and I'm serious, guys. Like, look into this after the show. But essentially, what happened is this American Federation of Schools or whatever. School boards described parents coming to these meetings as domestic terrorists.
You said the DOJ did.
No, the Biden administration took that letter seriously and said, we got to look into this, DOJ. That school board association rescinded their quote, domestic terrorists.
Okay.
But the backlash has been crazy. Ohio, Missouri, they've said we're withdrawing our membership. You can't call parents domestic terrorists. But
the only domestic terrorists I consider are the right-wing insurrectionists that attacked the Capitol on January 6th.
Well, I consider them
domestic. I consider them domestic terrorists. Yeah. Okay, I think that part of the problem with the parents protesting the curriculum is the parents don't know anything because they're not trained educators. I think that we got to get back to, if you're an expert, we listen to you. Like, if I'm telling you about climate change, you don't have to listen to me because I don't know shit about climate change. At the end of the day, I'm not a PhD. I'm not a scientist. I'm a lawyer, right? If you want to ask me about government stuff, I think I'm an expert on it, right? But if I'm telling you medical advice, don't take my advice because I'm not trained in that. And too often, we listen to people that don't know anything about what they're talking about. Like, if a parent was talking about curriculum, what the hell does that parent know? They're not trained. We'd be lucky if they're college educated and they're sitting there telling trained teachers and administrators how
what I read on Facebook.
That's ridiculous. That's the thing. Call them out. You know, there's a mama's boy on WMCD that talks all the time about taxes, and the guy lives in his parents' basement. He's a freaking total mama's boy, and he's sitting there preaching to me.
Taxes.
He preaches about raising kids and all that. The guy can't even get a woman to have sex with him, or else he'd have kids, right? You have to have relations before you can talk about that. So. Anyway, Mike Schmuel, Indiana Democratic Party chairman, had a response to this a couple years ago. They changed the position of elected superintendent office to appointed, he said. The reason was to take politics out of education. Now, just a few years later, the Republican supermajority is saying they want to make local elections partisan. That's just illogical. A few years ago, former Governor Mitch Daniels... Former Republican Governor Mitch Daniels advocated that school board elections should be just general elections. It keeps primaries out of the process. Education should not be super political. It's just another manufactured reaction.
Agree with Governor Daniels.
And I agree with Mike Schmuel. By the way, Governor Mitch, I know drove Democrats crazy when he was governor, but I think most would agree he was a good governor. And he was smart. And he had smart advice for his party back in the day, and I think that's one of the reasons they've been so successful in Indiana. He said, let's stay out of social issues.
I was just going to say that Governor Daniels was very tough on local government, and so for that, it was. I think he was wrong on the Klein Avenue Bridge, but he was very good at making sure the state focused on fiscal and other type of issues instead of social issues, which Governor Pence didn't do. All
True
he
story.
did was focus on social issues, which was a disaster.
Hey, can you say Mama's Boy anymore? Is that like?
Oh, good. Is that bad? I don't. John?
Why would that be bad?
I don't know.
think
I'm
so.
just-
I think
'cause
Mama's
there's
Boy
some-
is still available.
There's stuff that we used to say when we were kids. Mama's Boy was one of them,
Yeah.
and now you can't say a lot of it. But Mama's Boy, I think, is safe, right?
I think it is.
Because total Mama's
Everybody's
Boy.
got a mama.
When a Mama's Boy is sitting there preaching to me, I like sort of smile and snicker to myself. It's like, this guy's telling me how to raise kids. I've had 4 kids, right? Like, one of that guy talked to me.
Or even like he's talking about national. I don't know.
Right. And he's literally like, yeah, whatever. I don't want to get into it. But anyway, another great show. We're doing the 3 of us. That's the second or third show in a row with the 3 of us in studio.
I think we've got some people coming on. According
Yeah.
to Steve.
Yeah.
John, did Steve actually booked
Well,
some.
don't we?
so.
We have on Tuesday, it's Byway Brewing, right?
Yes. I think the founder of Byway Brewing, Dave Toth's coming on.
Nice. That's Tuesday.
That'll be good.
Tuesday, we should have Joe back in studio. And then next Friday, we should have Lindsay back. And is it next week that we have Mayor Hogsett coming on, or is it the week after that?
Big
Wow,
guess.
you just gave away a good one. I
Wow.
love
yeah,
that.
Mayor Joe's
That's a
coming
good
on
tease.
as a guest. Yeah. I think it's not this Friday. I think it's the next Friday.
Yeah, I think it's like November 10th or something, something like that is coming up.
That's a week from Friday. Yeah, that's awesome. So we got a couple good guests lined up, and we got great stories, of course, because we're Lockpod, and that's what we do here. We want you to rate and subscribe so
November
that
12th for Mayor Hogsett.
so that every time we come on, you rate and subscribe. It'll automatically pop up on your phone. If you subscribe to us on Apple Pod and all the other platforms that bring you your podcast, it'll automatically download onto your phone, and all you have to do is press play and chill in your car or while you're working out or whatever. It's good. It's good stuff to listen to. So I appreciate my co-host Kevin Smith, the notorious Kevin Smith. We
No.
can't say that.
No,
yeah.
we already have a notorious here, and that's the LMP.
And Jay Vez,
Yeah.
another awesome show.
Good discussion. Great story about Taco Bell.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
John, right?
I'm never gonna live that one down.
I didn't tell you guys, but I've had food poisoning once in my life.
Where?
It
Is
was Taco Bell.
See,
It was so bad. I thought I was going to die.
and yet you
honestly.
still say you go back.
I didn't go for years.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
eventually
Taco Bell's not good.
it
It's bad for you.
It got to you. You
got
had to.
locos.
I
I actually
you know what that bell means? Ding! Time to go to the bathroom.
I liked your stomach noise. That was a good sound.
I actually think
effect.
Taco Bell's good. I mean, call me crazy.
Oh,
like there's
man.
just like a steak soft taco. It's good. It's good.
All right, there you go.
Yeah.
They
Anyway.
should be our sponsor.
All right. Thanks everybody for listening to Lockpod. We'll see you on Tuesday when we come back with more shenanigans. Take care, everybody.